Don't care about anything you want to talk about right now, dude. Okay, am I good on Rumble still? I am. Okay, well, we're good. Freeman button, oops, yeah. Well, okay. It told me OBS had crashed, but evidently OBS had not crashed because OBS was open. So I just hit no. I hit no to, do you want to save a log that OBS crashed? And it did not like that. That just it closed OBS. Okay. Oh wait, shit. Did we ever? I don't think did we finish reading the Trump tariff stuff? We might have to come back to that later. I don't remember. I don't remember if I finished reading the last thing. Yeah, we didn't read the tariff tracker thing, but I mean, I think we're good. I don't think we need to. I think we need to do that. This should also be over here, though. If it isn't already. It is. Tell me what specifically you don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about philosophy at all right now, dude. I'm just not something like... I don't care right now. I do care though? Wow, thank God I'm the streamer and you're not. Oh, hey, I'm live. Wow, that's crazy, dude. Okay. Who knows? Who knows why that happened, but you know what? We're all with it. We're good. I just gotta... So whoever the YouTube short chatter is, hold on. Hold on. I gotta get the YouTube short chat working again. YouTube short chat working again. So don't need that. But then we do need the new ID. Okay. Yeah, I know, buddy. Was listening to Andrew Wilson Israel debate today. My brain almost melted how little that guy knew. What's Andrew? Who did he debate? What is Andrew Wilson's position on Israel? Is he pro-Israel or is he not? Because I could see him going either way, really. Not that Andrew Wilson, the guy that... Oh! I don't think I did especially well on that because I hadn't done all my research yet, but yeah, I don't think he knew very much. I didn't do a good job of controlling the conversation. Thoughts on Charlie Kirk? He's neutral in Israel. I haven't seen that much from Charlie Kirk. I've seen a YouTube short of Charlie Kirk explaining why college is a scam because they didn't teach Thomas Sowell in an economics class, so I don't think he knows very much about economics. That is what I will say about Charlie Kirk. He definitely isn't Andrew Wilson part of Crucible. He is, yeah. But my former classmate is also named Andrew Wilson, and I debated him in Palestine like a while ago. Yeah, but. Okay. What a coincidence, yeah. The audio for that video is fucked too, because I didn't set up my microphone correctly, unfortunately. But Charlie Kirk is an inspiration if he can find employment. So get all of us through. I've literally the thing I've seen him. He was at like a college. People are like, "How could someone was just like how can he say college is a scam?" He's like, "I'm here studying economics," and he's like, "Do they teach Thomas Sowell? Do they give it to Friedman?" And he was like, "No," and he was like, "If they're teaching economics and they're not teaching Thomas Sowell, then you're not learning economics. If they're not teaching Milton Friedman, you're not learning economics." First of all, nobody respects Thomas Sowell, okay? He's not a very good economist. Second of all, Milton Friedman, even if they're not talking about him, they're talking about his ideas. Any economics class has monetarist ideas integrated into it. It has Keynesian ideas integrated into it. Even if they don't mention people themselves, all economics is like building on each other. So it's gonna have ideas inspired by Friedman in it. Any economics class, I've said this before, teaches about the Phillips curve and like the notion that like the Phillips curve is vertical in the long run and there's only a short run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. That's like a monetarist idea that is very commonly taught in macro classes. That is and sometimes they even teach Milton Friedman's negative income tax as well, because they'll discuss like welfare policy and they'll go over different welfare policies, and a lot of times they actually specifically mention Milton Friedman's negative income tax. Okay, I need to start organizing these. Can I download a PDF still? Or... oh, hell yeah. If you don't believe in free will, how would you blame me for bringing up philosophy when you don't believe I have a choice? I don't think I blamed you. I just think I've said I don't want to do it. Okay, so we have this. Free will is so obvious, true, dude. Okay, we should probably work on unrealized gains first, so... see more tax stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Went to these planes. All you need to know about tax is true. Okay, so taxing unrealized gains is I don't know if there's any like actual what if I look up administrative cost of taxes unrealized gains? Are there any like metrics that do this? Nobody gives a fuck about economic bullshit. Okay, taxing unrealized gains is... I want to say it's administratively difficult, because you have to like evaluate the unrealized gains that people have, but I don't know... I don't have a source for that. No, wait, hold on. I have to open my chat again because it's gone. Hold on. New chat. Boom. How do you explain countries that have better social nets like Norway, Denmark, but much higher wait times for much higher wait times for admission / much higher taxes for hospitals? I don't think the some of your points are related to economics. All that matters. I don't think some of your points. So on the better social safety nets point, I would agree that they have better social safety nets, and I'm in favor of many of those social safety nets. I'm pretty sure Denmark doesn't even have a wealth tax. A lot of these countries don't even have wealth taxes anymore. A lot of them got rid of them. I know Norway has a wealth tax, but yeah. And then the added wait time stuff. I mean, I'm not in favor of some of the single payer plans. I think that we should basically have moderated competition. I think the government should probably do a public option for health insurance, and I don't see a good reason why that would increase wait times. Yeah. I don't think the higher taxes there is at all related to the higher wait times. I think that's just how they do their healthcare. I have no clue, Judy. Dude, I'm gonna ban you if you keep doing this, dude. Because it distracts me so much, and it just makes me angry. Just makes me mad. I think unrealized gains. It's always going to taxes away. More money than realized taxes at the same rate. Or, I mean, even a higher rate it would, but at the same rate, since it doesn't allow. It's the money you pay on the unrealized gains every year. Cannot compound. I mean, people are just gonna argue. People are gonna argue in favor of that. This increases the disincentive. I'm in Kuwait, so social healthcare, and the main problem here is the wait times, and the public clinics don't have enough doctors per patient because of private competition. The public, I mean, I didn't know private competition was allowed in Canada. I thought you just had totally public healthcare. I didn't know you did private competition. But that's interesting. I don't know. I know Canada has a lot of healthcare problems that we probably don't want to replicate here. But we have like way more fucking medical debt. I mean, everything about trade-off. High headphones brands. These are Bose Quiet Pods, Bose Quiet Comfort 35s. This is the second version. I have the first version. Nice, thanks. Well, welcome back to the stream. Thanks for coming in. I want new headphones. I bought the Sony WH-XM5s, but they're not as comfortable. I don't like them as much. And then I could sell them and sell these and get nicer Bose headphones, but because these are falling apart, dude. This I want to say increases the disincentive, but there's got to be a better way to phrase that. This disincentivizes saving greater than a regular capital gains tax, meaning the disincentive okay, I'll mention a lock-in effect too. Realized gains taxes also have a lock-in effect. Which disincentivize people from selling stocks they already own. Taxing unrealized gains. Would decrease the incentive for saving, disincentivize saving more. Social healthcare needs to compete for doctors because the public options often pay less salary. That being said, some tweaking to taxes could fix that. X pay less taxes if you're a public doctor. Disincentivize disincentivize saving. I was saying investing, really, but more than conventional, or more than a realized tax. Incentivize people. To hoard money. Save money with... Or I'll say to... money under the mattress. What are you writing in this speech? I'm writing an opening statement for a debate. Or with lower return bonds. Or with low risk bonds, I should say. Or with... What debate? It's a debate on a few different types of taxes. This is the a few different people. I don't know if you're into Twitch politics or too much, but with Bim Bim, PPG, this is the only one I've confirmed so far. Thursday, August 8th, 1 a.m. Maida, we're probably going to change that prompt a little bit because Maida's position is more nuanced, I think. And then Casey, I don't know. Or no, Bim Bim, I think. Yeah, and Casey, we haven't confirmed yet, but Casey, I imagine we're going to do the same prompt. He's political person guy, Twitch? Yeah. I mean, no, he's his brother, right? Private and market. Of financial capital. Particularly affecting. Volatile assets. Or volatile assets. I'll say like volatile startups and because the argument here is going to be like if you're incentivizing holding volatile assets, some of the most some of these like companies that are like, you know, tech startups are obviously going to be pretty volatile, and you're gonna rob them of the financial capital that they would otherwise would have gotten. That can't be. How do you spell financial? Okay. Taxing unrealized gains taxes away more money. I probably want to add something first, prefacing it, but taxing unrealized gains taxes away more money than a realized tax, since the money you pay on unrealized gains every year cannot compound. Realized gain taxes also have a lock-in effect, which disincentivizes people from selling stocks they own. Doesn't discourage buying volatile assets. Not only would the implementation of such tax likely decrease stock prices in the short term, as people and companies sell off stocks to avoid paying future taxes. But long-run growth will also suffer. Okay. General rule of taxation. Is if you tax something, you get less of it. Taxing wealth, therefore, finance framework to wealth. Tax wealth. You get less wealth. You directly disincentivize investment and wealth creation. Promoting long-run growth. If high enough, you may even you probably no, I don't know. I don't want to put too much in the opening statement because we'll like get into all these things, but well, taxes are also notoriously, I don't know how to spell it. Notoriously.
Here's the definition of
Oh, fuck
notoriously,
you, Google.
used to emphasize that a quality
Oh,
or
don't care. Yes, notoriously. Hard to implement. Difficult to enforce. Not only will the government have to spend money, on tax layers, to go after tax sheets, or I said notoriously difficult to enforce. Many rich people. Alright, I'll just say some level of capital flight is inevitable. Why is it fucking stuck on italics? I'm hitting Control I. What? Some level of capital flight is inevitable. And rich people, all the resources, deploy an army, army, tax lawyers. Die, rich people die? True. Thank you, Sean. Avoid paying as much tax as possible. Not only does this make them ineffective at raising much revenue, but increases deadweight loss, as government tax lawyers, or government and private tax lawyers, play a cat and mouse game. Evaluating billionaires' wealth. Their time could, in theory, could otherwise be spent in a more productive sector. Margin force that weight loss, Laffer curve. Robbing the world. Valuable companies and ideas. And harming long-run growth. At some level, the Laffer curve does come into play. No, I won't mention it. I don't care that much. And then I had the corporate tax section here. Corporate taxes may actually be the worst of them all. Corporations are nothing but collections of people, and as such, the burden of these taxes falls on people, not corporations. The tax incentive of corporate taxes is divided between three groups: shareholders through lower returns and dividends, workers through lower wages and higher unemployment, and consumers through higher prices. Whoever you want to tax, a corporate tax is not the best way to do it. If you want to tax shareholders, tax capital gains. If you want to tax workers, tax income. If you want to tax consumption, there are a number of better alternatives like a sales tax, value-added tax, or Bradford X tax. Corporate taxes also decrease long-run growth, which harms everyone. Corporate taxes also decrease. Okay. Corporate taxes also again, like I've mentioned, like the longer ago thing so many times. Corporate taxes also directly disincentivize investments in capital, it's not capital stock, in capital. I used the word capital stock once. Capital stock wasn't the right term, and capital investments. Investments in capital investment. I would say directly incentivize capital investments. Which again decreases long-run growth. Okay. I want to start off as just like I'm not opposed to decreasing inequality. Nor am I in favor of giving money to rich people and hopes benefits trickle down, and hopes that benefits trickle down. However, this does not preclude that some taxes aimed at decreasing inequality have more costs and benefits and harm the very people they're trying to help. Many taxes, like a land value tax, that would decrease inequality. And are economically efficient. But for this debate, I'd like to focus on 3 taxes, on 3 bad, on 3 taxes that are not so economically efficient. Okay, let's run this through. Okay. All right. I'm not opposed to decreasing inequality, nor am I in favor of giving money to the rich in hopes. This is why we proofread. I'm not opposed to decreasing inequality, nor am I in favor of giving money to the rich in hopes that benefits trickle down. However, this does not preclude that some taxes aimed at decreasing inequality have more constant benefits and actually harm the very people they're trying to help. There are many taxes, like a land value tax, that would decrease inequality and are economically efficient. But for this debate, I'd like to focus on 3 taxes that are not so economically efficient. First, taxing unrealized gains taxes away more money than realized gains at the same rate, since money you pay on unrealized gains every year cannot compound. Realized gain taxes also have a lock-in effect, which disincentivizes people from selling stocks they already own and doesn't discourage people from buying volatile assets. Therefore, taxing unrealized gains would disincentivize investment more than a realized gains tax and incentivize people to hoard money under the mattress or with low-risk bonds, depriving the market of financial capital, particularly affecting high-risk, high-reward startups. Not only would the implementation of such tax likely decrease stock prices in the short term, as people and companies sell off stocks to avoid paying future taxes, but long-run growth will also suffer. Second, the general rule of taxation is that if you tax something, you get less of it. If you tax something, you get less of it. If you tax wealth, you get less wealth. You directly disincentivize investment and wealth creation, robbing the world of valuable companies and ideas, harming long-run growth. Wealth taxes are also notoriously hard to implement and difficult to enforce. Some level of capital flight is inevitable, and rich people have all the resources to deploy an army of tax lawyers to avoid paying as much taxes as possible. Not only does this make them ineffective at raising much revenue, but it increases deadweight loss, as government and private tax lawyers play a cat and mouse game of evaluating billionaires' wealth when their time could otherwise be spent in a more productive sector. Thirdly, corporate taxes may actually be the worst of them all. Corporations are nothing but collections of people, and as such, the burden of these taxes falls on people, not corporations. The tax incidence of corporate taxes is divided between 3 groups: shareholders through lower returns and dividends, workers through lower wages and higher unemployment, and consumers through higher prices. Whoever you want to tax, a corporate tax is not the best way to do it. If you want to tax, I might do this. That makes it easier to read. I don't know if I need. I'm gonna do that. If you want to tax workers, tax income. I'm gonna say tax wages. There are multiple ways to tax wages. If you want to tax consumption, there's a number of better alternatives like sales tax, VAT, or bad products tax. Corporate taxes also directly disincentivize capital investment, which again decreases long-run growth. By your all right, woohoo. Okay. Duh, 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 duh. Okay. I don't think we need to read this one. These we all need to read though. These are just samples notes, which I should probably, I'm just gonna put up here. This might be an interesting read. They don't even have that big of an effect on the quality. Like arguments, kind of. Decrease long run GDP by 0.43% and also doubling the trade deficit. I don't care about the trade deficit that much, but I should be able to find it just by Googling it. Oh, wait, is it loading? Yeah, this is still up. Exactly how I imagine a streamer like you would look like. Okay, thanks, dude. Thanks, okay. Okay, we'll start with this. Unrealized gain tax is an economic fallacy. Let me start my music. I don't have a good reading playlist. I need to make one. All right. Okay, I need to lock in. One twerk. Wait, the stream deck is not working. God damn it. Okay. Fuck. I want to learn about the 5 session. Do you like vertical live streams? I mean, what do you mean? Do I like them? The reason I do them is because it's a good way to like grow. Like, a lot more people come in through the shorts feed than come in through the normal like YouTube feed, right? But I don't particularly dislike them. But can you show us your button for a donation? I mean, you can't donate on YouTube, but what do you mean? What do you mean a button through a donation or for the donation? You can look at does this mean what happens if someone donates? I think I can do a test donation. It depends what you donate with. Through Streamlabs, show us your belly button. Oh, can you show us your belly button for a donation? I don't believe that you're going to donate, but I would do it. Right, test it. Show it. Don't do it's probably a weird fetish thing. Listen, I'll do it for a donate, but looks like that. I don't know why it doesn't.
This is a test donation for $91.
Oh, test. There you go.
This is a test donation for $54.
Oh, Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin. You can't even do it. You came through YouTube Shorts, so I just don't believe that you're going to do it. Okay. Unrealized gain tax is an economic fallacy. Taxing unrealized capital gains on property, stocks, and other assets is not just a bad idea, it's an economic fallacy. You should be like Fresh and Fit and do free donations. Show belly button. I don't believe that you're going to do it. If you somehow prove that you're going to do it. If you donate $1 first, and then more money, when I do it. But fuck. Okay. There's no way we can read all these, but like I'm just gonna keep adding more and more.
You guys, what one is your favorite? Huggy Wuggy Chic, Skewy Blue, Jumbo Sauce, Ben,
it's a big deal to show you about the belly button. If it's clean, you get $55. I don't believe that you're going to donate that. What are your thoughts on stock buybacks? I don't have any strong opinion on them. I like they're probably not always bad, but I don't see a compelling reason for them to not necessarily be banned. But I would have to think about it more. Give it a try. Donate $1 for or 10 cents. I think the minimum is $1, but like donate $1 first, and then I'll do it, and then you can donate 54 later. How are you even gonna donate? You're on the YouTube Shorts chat, bro. I'm not monetized on YouTube. You can't donate through YouTube. Economic policy that undermines economic growth and personal liberty. I don't really care about the personal liberty arguments, but that's why I didn't bring them up. I'm hitting a front vent cart right now. That belly button guy is wild. Thank you, Gerber. Unfortunately, Biden's $7.3 billion budget proposes such a tax. Vermont and other states have made similar moves. Tax shouldn't just be rejected as fundamentally unjust, it's likely unconstitutional, and would hinder prosperity and individual freedom. Comes to stock buybacks, the logic I've heard is that a corporation is doing well, but doesn't see anywhere good to expand. The stock buybacks are a really good reward for good investors. Yeah, that's true. Which in theory, like corporations are going to do what's profitable, right? So if there is a good opportunity for them to expand, in theory, they should always favor that long run growth over stock buybacks. Yeah. I think part of the issue is that sometimes CEO pay is like pegged to stock performance, so you could argue the CEO, although the CEO obviously doesn't have total control of the company, the CEO is incentivized to like order stock buybacks for his own pay. Like imagine Amazon expands everywhere and becomes a dominant force in America, then it can't expand anymore because a lot of something that company despite being hugely profitable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A tax on unrealized capital gains means that individuals are penalized for owning appreciating assets regardless of whether they have any actual income from selling them. Taxing unrealized gains penalizes people for holding, appreciating assets regardless of if there's no space for them to grow, so they have a bunch of money, nothing to do with it. Exactly. Regardless if they receive income from selling them. If you purchase a stock for $100 this year, for example, and it increased 100 cents in the next year, you would pay the assigned tax rate on a $10 capital gain. You didn't sell the assets, so you didn't realize $10 appreciation, but you must pay tax regardless. The following year, it dropped to $100, so that was a loss of $10. Would you be able to deduct that as a tax liability? The devil's in the details that approach this tax, but the devil is also in the tax itself. Adam Michael, the Cato Institute explained 2 types of unrealized taxes in President Biden's latest budget. Under current law, capital gains are taxed when the gain is realized. When the investment is solid, there's no actual profit to tax. When the investment is sold, and there's actual profit to tax. The budget proposes eliminating step up in basis, making death an inevitable taxable event. The change applies to unrealized capital gains over $5 million, or for single filers, $10 million if married. I'll add, it's also complicated to deal with capital gains losses. Or I'll just say capital losses on unrealized gains. Secondly, the budget proposes a new minimum tax of 25% on the income and unrealized capital gains for taxpayers with more than $100 million in total wealth. This minimum tax would be a third parallel income tax system, adding to the existing alternative minimum tax. The new minimum tax applies to 2 entirely new tax bases: wealth and unrealized capital gains. Defining and taxing wealth, unrealized capital gains poses numerous practical challenges and high economic cost. More stuff to read. Let's go. Keep adding more. An infinite amount of stuff to read. Thank you. Yes. Show booty hole. It doesn't show commands in chat, so I just now read that. Okay, Taxing unrealized capital gains contradicts the basic principles of fairness and property rights essential for a free and prosperous society. Don't care. Taxation, if we're going to have it on income, should be based on actual income earned, not paper gains that never materialize. Moreover, taxing unrealized gains hurts economic activity by discouraging investment and capital formation, the lifeblood of the dynamic economy. When individuals know that their unrealized gains will be taxed, they have less incentive to invest in productive assets such as stocks, real estate, and businesses. This leads to a misallocation of resources and slower economic growth. Knowing unrealized gains will be taxed will disincentivize people. Isn't it? I thought it was IZE for disincentivize. People from buying or from investing in productive assets leading to a misallocation of capital, slower economic growth. Oh wait, shoot, I had this idea earlier for my opening statement to like start off with like a brief like I'm gonna be appealing to like two types of arguments, like mechanistic and empirical. So I can apply something. I can say something that's like mechanistically true if like from a microeconomic foundation, like this is the results something's gonna have. So like I'll just say like, you know, it's sort of like a mechanistic explanation to say like increasing or having an unrealized capital gains tax will decrease the amount of financial capital, right? So that's something that's like a mechanistic explanation, I would say. Maybe there's a better word for that, but the word I would use is mechanistic, and then empirical. So I can use I can appeal to a mechanistic explanation, but on top of that, I can have the empirical evidence. So like for a wealth tax, we'll read these. I notice a lot of evidence that a wealth tax doesn't actually increase revenue that much. So that's like that'd be like an empirical thing. Yeah. I was thinking maybe there's a way to like have that in my opening statement and then like lay out for each of them. This is why mechanistically corporate taxes are bad, and this is why empirically corporate taxes fail in many areas. But maybe that'll just make it too long. I don't know. And also, I think there's got to be a better word than mechanistic for that, but I don't know what it would be. Because theoretical maybe this is why, but I don't. Theoretical doesn't get the full thing across. I don't know. Mechanistic sounds better. I don't know a better word there. Pizza face? Thank you, AI Music Galaxy. You're welcome. Thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. Appreciate you being here. Fucking out, dude. I'm checking my YouTube analytics. I don't know. I'm doomed to be a reaction streamer, dude. I'm doomed to be one because I'm just checking like when I don't react to popular content, and I either debate people or react to less popular content that just doesn't get views. Listen, once I'm monetized on YouTube, then I can start doing more stuff I like. But, you know, whatever. Okay, I need to fucking lock in, dude, but I'm having a hard time locking in. Especially because usually, okay. Oh fuck, but I do have stuff to edit, don't I? Because I could upload that conversation with sample text, and I could upload me reacting to David Pac-Man. I guess I could do that tomorrow if I read a lot tonight. Fucking hell. Okay, come on. Okay, lock in. We're locked in. Additionally, this tax reduces the capital available for entrepreneurship and innovation. Startups and small businesses rely on investment from individuals willing to take risk in the hopes of eventually earning a reward on their investment. By taxing unrealized capital gains, we discourage risk-taking and stifle innovation, essential elements for improving productivity and raising living standards. This tax also reduces the total amount financial capital available, particularly for entrepreneurship and innovation. So startups rely on investments from individuals, from people, investments from individuals willing to take big risk. Hopes of a big reward. Oh wait, also. Is there like a way? Can I do this actually? No. If I like copy that, if I hold this and hit Control C, do you think I can just Control V? Let's go. I think we'll read this at some point too. Okay. The tax undermines personal liberty by infringing on individuals' property rights and financial privacy. It gives the government unprecedented control over people's assets and creates a powerful disincentive for individuals to save and invest. Take future owns you mine? True. This is particularly troublesome in an era of increasing government surveillance and intrusion in private affairs. Don't care, don't care. Proponents of taxing unrealized capital gains argue it's a way to address income inequality and raise revenue for social programs. This argument can't withstand scrutiny. This tax does not address the root cause of inequality, such as government failures in fiscal and monetary policies. Instead, this new tax would merely redistribute wealth from productive individuals to the government, thereby further misallocating hard-earned money. I don't really agree with this part, but I mean, the problem is redistributing wealth from productive individuals to the government is, in effect, redistributing wealth from rich people to poor people. I mean, in theory, the government would then spend it on obviously the government isn't like poor, but I'm saying the government in theory is going to spend this money on supporting poor people. So there's the how we work through that. Thereby further misallocating hard-earned money. Furthermore, the tax revenue raised from the tax would be far less than prevalence anticipate, as individuals would work less, invest less, and find ways to avoid taxes through legal paths. Tax revenue raised from this tax. But also likely be lower than most predict. As people will save less, people will save, work, and invest less. This result in less economic prosperity, resulting from a decline in tax collections. I'll add capital flight. Might also occur, and people will save, work, invest less. Save less, work less, invest less. Find legal paths to avoid paying. This causes dead weight loss. Not only from the lack of investment. Alright, Alright, now I mentioned where I open it. Oh, we're good. Okay. From an economic and moral perspective, taxing unrealized capital gains from property, stocks, and other assets is a bad idea. It undermines economic growth, stifles innovation, and infringes on personal liberty. Instead of resorting to the misguided policies of the Biden administration, in some states, we should remove barriers created by government. These include reducing spending, taxes, regulations. We should impose fiscal and monetary rules. Achieving these goals and ending a bad idea of a new tax on unrealized capital gains will encourage investment, entrepreneurship, and economic opportunity for all. Only then can we truly unleash the potential of a free and prosperous society. Okay, we'll do toggle heading 2. Nice gains. Okay, I think there are these two things. Or what stream software do you use? OBS, like everyone. What's up, the traveling clan? Bro, you're verified. Bro, you got 257k subscribers? What's up? I saw that check mark. I was like, who is this guy? Beautiful Zionist tells me the truth? Dude, this content's awesome. What the hell? Are you streaming vertical and horizontal at the same time on YouTube? Yep. You can see here I have my vertical layout, and here we need degrowth. Thanks, Ghost. And here we have my horizontal layout. There's just an OBS plugin. Streaming vertically and horizontal on YouTube at the same time is a little annoying, because you have to schedule 2 different streams. So every time I want to stream, I have to like go here and I have to go live. Then I have to schedule 2 different streams, and then they'll both have different stream keys that I can use. It's a little annoying, but it works. And then it's also hard to get chat to work as well. The only program I found that can actually do both the YouTube Shorts and YouTube chat in the same chat and not 2 different chats. Or sometimes, like, some programs just connect to a YouTube channel and they don't know which chat to go in, so they'll randomly choose either the Shorts chat or live or horizontal chat, and you can't work it out. There's a program called Social Stream that lets you have the YouTube video ID for the chat. So in theory, you could have as many live streams as you want. Appreciate. Just sub to your channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Traveling Cat. I appreciate it, man. What truth did the beautiful Zionist tell you? I want to know. that sounds like an awesome video, dude. Too bad I came in on one of my boring economic streams and not one of my pro-Israel Hasbro streams. Will Iran go to war against Israel? My feelings they already are. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I mean, I would full scale war. I don't know what a full scale war looks like between them. And my guess would be it depends if the U.S. can mediate a ceasefire in Gaza. If I think if they mediate a ceasefire in Gaza, which is possible, but I don't think it's that likely, then it's unlikely that it'll ever go to a full-scale war. And then I would also think, I think if they don't, there's still opportunities to avoid it, but I just don't think Iran thinks it's worth it. I would like, I don't know. I'm in the nothing ever happens camp. I think they'll exchange rocket fire, but they'll. What would full scale war look like? I just don't even know. Maybe I'm just America brain, but it's destructive and unfair to tax unrealized capital gains. They reflect expected profits, which often fail to materialize, and the levy won't only hit the rich. President Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders have tested the share of the country's wealth held by the very well off, is unfair and a product of a rigged economic system. They say the U.S. needs a wealth tax starting with a levy on unrealized capital gains. These redistributionists are acting as if unrealized capital gains will be stored in vaults like gold and can be elected at Congress's will. They don't appreciate the ephemeral nature of stocks. A stock portfolio of $100 million is best approximated by the present discounted value of firms' future profit streams. Redistributionists point to wealthy people's portfolio gains, which they call unrealized and untaxed income. But current income and capital gains are conceptually different. Firms' future profits, the estimates of which cause portfolios to rise or fall, haven't yet been realized. A tax on unrealized gains thus amounts to a tax on unrealized future profits that in many cases will never be realized except at losses, especially if added taxation increases the likelihood of unrealized profits. Okay, so current income and unrealized gains are conceptually different. Firms' expected future profits are what cause portfolios to rise or fall in value. A tax on unrealized capital gains thus amounts to an indirect tax on future profits that in many cases will never even be realized. Current profits are only one factor investors use to appraise a company's value. Investors' expectations of future profitability often account for far more. How much more depends on the intangible. Investors' evaluations of interacting future market forces, including hunches and speculations based partially on other speculations. An investor's unrealized capital gains can be inflated by the eager bids of overly optimistic buyers, which could make a wealth tax a tax on phantom gains. Unrealized gains can be inflated by overly optimistic buyers. To inflate stock prices based on gains or expected gains. They are already at war, kind of. They're not like... I mean, they've exchanged rocket fire, and Israel did one airstrike, but like that's not full scale war. That's more intense than anything before, but never materialize. In effect, taxing phantom gains. Well, subject to taxation, is fraught with risk because profit streams unfold differently as a result of ever-changing market, social, geopolitical, and atmospheric forces over which companies have no influence. Bank stockholders recently rediscovered the risk embedded in presumed safe investments that result from untethered fiscal and monetary forces. Did misers, Biden, and Sanders anticipate how much their policies charted a path towards high interest rates leading to capital losses in banks holding a federal securities? I think not. Wait, sorry. How their policies charted a path to higher interest rates leading to capital losses in banks holding a federal securities. I don't understand how this last part necessarily follows. Bank stockholders who own shares in banks have recently been reminded that investments considered safe can be risky. The statement suggests government fiscal policies, monetary policies, particularly mentions implying their policies can produce situations. High interest rates. This doesn't. Okay. Explain how taxing unrealized gains could lead to. Could lead to higher interest rates can carry result in capital losses for banks holding federal securities. Simplified explanation. This tax targets the increase in value of assets which haven't yet been sold. For instance, if you, okay, I understand that. Investors may be able to pay this tax. Investors might need to sell some of their assets, including stocks and bonds, to generate necessary cash. This selling pressure can lead to a decrease in asset prices. As more investors sell their assets, the supply of these assets in the market increases, which drive prices down. This can affect the broader financial markets, including the bond market. Interest rates. With the selling of bonds, their prices drop, leading to a rise in bond yields. Higher interest rates are often a result of the market adjusting for the increased supply in bonds. Bank holdings. Banks typically hold a significant amount of federal securities like government bonds. When interest rates rise, the value of existing bonds with lower rates falls. This because new bonds are issued with higher rates, making the older, lower yielding bonds less attractive. I know that part, but that wouldn't. We're talking about investors selling previously existing bonds here. We're not talking about new bonds being issued. So it's not like the Fed set interest rates higher and are issuing new bonds with higher interest rates. We're talking about the value of previously existing bonds falling already. These are already pre-existing bonds, right? As the value of these bonds decrease, banks incur capital losses in their holdings. This weakens their financial position and can affect their overall stability. This part is kind of irrelevant, but their actual point, I guess the point is, if investors sell. If investors sell bonds to cover it, to suffer capital losses. Apple's future profits and its stockholders' unrealized capital gains are constantly at risk from an unseen and unseeable reality. What not unknown innovators are doing in their garages. Sorry, what now unknown? In the 1970s, supposedly indomitable IMB missed Apple's founders working long hours to supplant IMB's mainframes with desktop computers considered then to be toys. Remember Sears? In 1969, it was the largest retailer in the world. Many of its stockholders had unrealized capital gains. Few had heard of Walmart. Nobody imagined that Amazon would later threaten Walmart after barely surviving the dot-com bust. The anticipated profit streams that most firms would never realized. Remember Kmart, Radio Shack, and Blockbuster? Most firms never realize their anticipated gains. Anticipated. IBM was indomitable. It's how little known. Apple founders rise up. Surprise everyone. Sears had high high unrealized gains. Until Walmart showed up. Their stockholders once had unrealized capital gains. If Barnes & Noble shareholders had been taxed on their unrealized capital gains in the early 1980s, the IRS would have absconded some of the expected profits while leaving the shareholders to shoulder both the tax and later losses incurred from the market of the internet booksellers. Taxing expected gains. Okay. This is a good argument. Taxing expected gains. Leaves investors Thank for the sub, Dustin Babla. I appreciate it, man. What's up, Jamie? Showed up both the tax and later losses incurred. What are you doing, bro? I'm taking notes right now. Redistributionists don't seem to understand that their proposal will reduce companies' future profit streams and accordingly the amount of wealth subject to taxation. Mayors Biden and Sanders evidently like the idea because it sounds good and fair to them. It will be neither, especially when some of the lost wealth comes out of the retirement funds of lower and middle income Americans. Taxing unrealized gains. You smoke weed, G? I don't. Reduce companies' future profit streams. And accordingly, the amount of wealth subject to taxation. I just saw 420 in the name. Oh yeah, that's just because on Twitch someone has the name non-font, so I just added numbers. Did you vote Trump? I mean, I wasn't old enough to vote, but no, and I will not be voting Trump in the next election. Okay, I want to add this to the opening somehow. I'm out from 2024. I'm glad you can't even interact with someone who disagrees with you, but okay, thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Anytime. The value of stocks also comes in large part from companies' expected future profits, that often fail to materialize. Okay, hold on. I like this. I might change this to Apple's. If IBM shareholders have been taxed into unrealized gains, the IRS would have tax expected profits will leave when shareholders to shoulder both the tax and later losses incurred from the market from the rise of Apple. Okay, I think that's good. Fuck, I just realized I should do research in inequality too, because the big point, the big counter to all this is going to be inequality. But there's, I think there's quite a bit of evidence that shows inequality has not risen as much as like progressives fearmonger about. Fuck, okay. I already have some data on this from the real wage notes, which hopefully I can use. Iran and stuff can't really go to war with Israel. Too much distance, exactly, would cause too much instability in Iran, so they don't have a real expeditionary force. If Iran ever goes to fully war with Israel, it would probably just look like a full stand with proxies and nuclear program. Well, yeah. Well, that's the real... I'm not that concerned with Israel full-scale war with Iran, just because, like... I think the way that would materialize, like you said, is basically just a full-scale war with Hezbollah and the Houthis, right? The Houthis would probably send more shit to Israel as well. Yeah, I think like Hezbollah is my main concern for Israel, because invading Lebanon has not gone well in the past for them. So, you know. Maybe not a good idea to do it again, but the alternative, which is keep Hezbollah there, is also not good. The never-ending wealth tax campaign. Vermont is one of 10 states flirting with taxing unrealized gains. Destiny Twin, true. And most of the fighting would be Hezbollah. Houthis are more of a style of economic warfare. Well, I mean, when I say I understand, Houthis can't really... I guess they did attack Israel directly once with that missile that struck in Tel Aviv, but obviously the Houthis are a lot further away that are just going to be... The main concern with the Houthis is that they're blocking trade from a lot A lot port, right? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I think it's a lot. This port. I'm a Russian bot, like vodka. What's your favorite drink? I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I like caffeine. I like Red Bull and Monster. I like Red Bull more than Monster, but Monster's a lot cheaper. Pronounce like I lot? Okay. We don't give a fuck about pronunciations here. I never pronounce anything right. Face. Well, taxes are like a specter in the search of a host, and an already overtaxed New England state may be the first to succumb. Vermont lawmakers want to tax residents' unrealized gains, hoping to finally break the barrier that's kept them from draining asset values year after year. The state's top legislators spent recent weeks pushing bills that would dial up taxes on high earners. The biggest reach is a proposal to tax the paper gains from assets above 10 million. That plan would slap Vermont's 8.5% top income tax rate on half of those gains. That means that a family whose business gains $3 million in value could owe $131,000, even if they don't take out a single dollar of cash. Like levies and capital gains, the new tax will cut into investment returns and leave well-off Vermonters less reason to deploy their money in well-producing investments. Hi again, what's up, Hollow Husk? Maxing unrealized gains. Disincentivize. Investors. I'm investing. Well-producing investments. What state are you from? I'm from North Carolina. Best and worst state in the US? Well, the worst is definitely Florida, obviously. The best... You vote on Kamala? I am. I gotta get... We're a swing state, okay? I gotta get out there and vote for Kamala, okay? I don't have a strong opinion on the best state. I actually quite like NC. I think NC ranks pretty high. NC has been growing a lot. Is it to become 7th most populous state in the early 2030s? I really don't know that much about other states. Ohio #1? Ohio is not #1, dude. Bro, you know JD Vance is from Ohio? That fucking cringe ass vice president? You guys are barely even a swing state anymore. I don't mean, do we even count Ohio as a swing state anymore? You guys are just Republican now. You guys just got fucked. Honestly, I don't know the actual fucking beats, Ryan. North Carolina's population would be more racially ethnic. There would still be more older people living here. Thanks, Simone Bubby. Haven't you followed before? What's better, Texas or California? I mean, it depends for what, obviously. I like that I like that Texas and red states in general build more. I just realized I wasn't following. I don't know how. Okay, well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for following. Thank you. It helped a lot. Okay, anyway. I like that, like, there's this general trend that, like, red states build, blue states don't. We're actually we're reading about tax policy right now, and there are like some like oh shit, all that's good with a gifted sub. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it a lot, dude. That actually it helps. Listen, anything helps a lot because I'm fucking making 30 cents a day. Thank you guys. Thank you, Holohusk. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Hell yeah. Transfer arc now? Maybe. Maybe I'll have to do it for the gifted sub, man. The most transphobic arc thing I'll do right now is I'll say, I think, like, I'll throw more money at you if I can. Listen, I'll say a lot of the trans kid stuff is cringe, especially because they're like, I think a lot of kids that identify as trans probably aren't actually trans and probably just having gender identity issues that a lot of teenagers go through. And I think a lot of non-binary people aren't actually non-binary. Non-binary isn't a real thing. The thing is, like, it, like, I should be able to, like, I think the case for non-binary people is basically, there's probably some people who experience, like, gender dysphoria, but also don't feel comfortable presenting as, like, the other gender fully, so it's just a 6% trying to earn impression points. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, anyway, yeah. Oh my, it's 4 plus 4, goddammit. There are a lot of, like, stupid building restrictions in a lot of these places that are... And, like, 90% of kids who eventually identify as trans grow out of it. It depends exactly how you measure it. The issue is sometimes, like, some of the studies that have, like, really high numbers, when they measure desistance, they'll take, like, any like, gender non-conforming behavior, and if you don't go on to transition, they'll count you as, like, a desister, and that can be misleading just because, like, they'll count kids who, like, just fucking play with dolls as having, like, gender dysphoria, and if they don't transition, they're, like, desisting. So that can be misleading. But I think the new thing that came out, the CAS report, does suggest that, like, a lot of kids who identify as trans are probably just suffering from some other like, mental health issue that really should just be addressed. I don't know that. I know Loner Box knows in it. Well, who knew? Kids who think there's something that they're not are mentally ill. Well, there probably are some kids who genuinely experience gender dysphoria, and, like, the best option for them is probably to go on puberty blockers to at least allow them more time to decide if they do want to medically transition later on. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a reason a lot of countries have course corrected on this. Like, now that, like, there's a lot of, like, Scandinavian countries that are a lot more tight on a lot of the trans kid stuff than we are. Evidence review. Are there any benefits of protectionism? What's up with free trade? Why are people against it all of a sudden? People are against it all of a sudden because people are just more anti-establishment now. They hate, like, globalism has just become an enemy that people can unite behind because it's a culture war thing. Globalism is a culture war thing now, so people are against it for that. People are against it because they don't understand it. They don't, like, they're like Trump either doesn't understand or he's lying when he says that, like, China pays tariffs. Like, China doesn't pay tariffs. People think that China or whoever we put tariffs on pays them. That's not true. Yeah, like, people don't understand it, and then people unite behind the globalist enemy as a culture war thing, and then people, the benefits could be, the real benefits could be arguably, well, the first one is going to be national security. there is definitely national security concern for certain things. For example, one area I will say we should do more protectionism in is drones. The same way that a lot of the chips are being made like in Taiwan, and that's a big issue because if any shit ever goes down in Taiwan, then we don't have access to chips anymore, and that's why we passed the Chips and Science Act. A lot of drones are made in China or are made in Taiwan as well, and that's a big issue because if some shit ever goes down, our military would not be able to produce any drones. So like, I think there's a case to be made that we should do more protectionism in certain industries like that. Another benefit could be infant industries. Is you want to shield your country from competition to develop an industry that can eventually compete on the international market and not just immediately be outcompeted. That's a fair argument for some developing countries. I think there's some developing countries that have shown that they protect their own industries and develop them to be competitive in exports until they're competitive. But I don't think that argument works for the U.S. Like obviously steel. I don't think is an infant industry in the U.S. that we need to be protecting. Yeah, but those are the arguments. There's more that you could pull up. I think just like 5 general. It's 5 arguments against free trade. It's like national security, environment. Sorry, spaced out. What are you yapping about? Free trade. Protecting infant industries, national security, domestic employment, which, I don't think that argument works for a few different reasons, but protecting workers from unfair labor practice, protecting the environment. Anyway, back to this. Unlike capital gains, that the wealth tax would create a massive confusing estate appraisals and endless disputes over revenue disparity. This is why no state currently taxes unrealized gains, but the author of Vermont plans this novelty is the point. Given the state of national politics, it is really up to the states to be moving these things along. Taxing unrealized gains. It is less true for capital gains, but also creates a difficulty. Raising portfolios. 100% works against free trade. The loss of manufacturing jobs being exported is not a good thing. I mean, I don't think that's true. One, any protecting those jobs is going to harm other jobs. If you protect... Okay, there are 2 ways to make a car. You can either make a car in Detroit in a car factory, or you can plant crops in Iowa. You can plant wheat in Iowa, send that wheat to Japan, and a few weeks later, the ships come back with cars in them. Everybody knows about the first one, right? The second one, I mean, like, the fact that Japan is a country where Japanese people live and they make cars there is not relevant to American interests, really. We might as well view Japan as a mysterious factory that turns wheat into cars. So any policy designed to protect American car makers in Detroit harms American car makers in Iowa, because the Iowa crop farmers are the competition to the car makers in Detroit, if that makes sense. Secondly, Japanese people in magic? Exactly. Secondly, depending on what you put tariffs on, like the Trump steel tariffs did not protect jobs. They cost jobs because they put other industries into like manufacturing recessions, right? So I think that the Trump tariffs protected about 1,000 jobs in the steel industry, but the increased price of steel actually cost 75,000 jobs. And it also puts U.S. Exporters at a disadvantage against other countries' exporters, because now people who use steel coming from China that now have to pay tariffs in the U.S. that are more expensive, they're paying more for steel than people who do the same thing in Europe, which didn't have the steel tariffs, right? So now the products coming from Europe are going to be cheaper, so people are going to buy the product from Europe. So it puts U.S. firms at a disadvantage on the international market as well, which costs jobs. Anyway, Ron makes some 10 states to work in wealth taxes this year, and she wants the progressive Green Mountain state to enact the first one. Just going with the example of cars, what's necessarily bad about producing cars ourselves? It's just not as efficient as, again, well, your point was about protecting jobs, right? Your point was about manufacturing jobs. You should just know that you're protecting manufacturing jobs, but that's costing other jobs. It's not actually protecting jobs on the whole. It's just switching which jobs we protect, right? 2, it's just more efficient to trade with people, to specialize in trade. It's just a competitive advantage. The opportunity cost is higher for us to do this stuff. Everyone benefits if we trade. We could run through the whole comparative advantage thing, but what? It's horrible. I feel like I don't know, there's the textbook I'm looking for, but I don't know. Lawmakers 10 states. Okay, Vermont is a popular haven for escapees of punitive taxes in New York and Boston, and Governor Phil Scott has made the modest suggestion that a wealth tax might drive these newcomers out. Alas, this guy has an answer for that. Before introducing the bill, she brought a Cornell sociologist to debunk the myth of a millionaire tax flight. Never mind the masses leaving the Northeast for Florida and Texas. Relying on sociology explains a lot about progressive tax policy. Few states' tax increases are launched without the aid of teacher unions and a national wealth tax push began with the American Federation of Teachers. Miss Kornheiser wrote her bill with help from the Fund Our Future, an advocacy group that traces origins back to the 2019 AFT campaign, and has spawned tax proposals in California, Maryland, New York, and more. The unions want to open tax revenue streams for future contracts. Miss Kornheiser also introduced a fallback plan to tax high earners if the wealth tax bill doesn't want enough support. Instead of targeting assets, the second bill adds a 3% surtax on incomes above $500,000, bringing the state's cut top income tax to 11.75%. This plan B could raise roughly. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, what a good article. Okay. I mean, I understand the importance of nations specializing in producing certain things, but it usually leads to better made products. But surely an example of cars in America, fully capable of producing their own cars. True, on par with Japanese cars. True, we could actually be better at producing cars in Japan and still have a comparative advantage, Japan could still have a comparative advantage in producing cars. As well as still making wheat and other products, we might trade for Japanese cars. Okay, so you're right, but competitive advantage is about opportunity cost. So basically, Japan could be, or sorry, we could be way better at producing cars, okay? We could have the absolute advantage of producing cars, meaning we can produce more cars for less inputs, and our cars could be better quality. That would give us an absolute advantage. However, comparative advantage comes from your ability to produce something at a lower opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost of Americans making cars that means those people can't make iPhones. And since iPhones are more valuable than cars, we should probably focus on making iPhones. There's some mention opportunity cost, but Japan's opportunity cost is probably lower because they don't make iPhone. I mean, Japan's not a good example because Japan's also a super developed economy. But like, we could imagine a different country that isn't developed where the opportunity cost is very low. Really, the opportunity cost is still low in Japan. That's why they make cars. But we give up less to make the car than Japan gives up to make the car, basically. Let's see the new hate comment. This is practice.
Students, this is Mr.
Oh, it's a new subscriber. Okay.
Clifford. Welcome to ACDC Econ. Today I'm in Hong Kong, China to talk to you about international trade and comparative advantage. Everybody trades, and I'm not just talking about countries. I'm talking about everyone. When one person becomes a dentist, they trade their services to the person who's the lawyer. Since people don't have the time to learn how to do everything, and they have different abilities, they specialize in one thing and trade with other people for the thing that they need. And it's the same way for countries. In fact, Hong Kong is the international hub for finance and trade in all of Asia. It also has the 5th largest skyscraper in the world, the International Commerce Center. Let's look at a made-up scenario to show you why and how countries trade. Let's use the United States and China. And let's assume they can produce only 2 goods,
Here you go.
planes and toys. Now, before we go any further, keep in mind that it
So you're saying it's just easier to have Japan make cars for us and focus on what? And focus on wheat. I mean, that's just an example, but yes. Trying to keep things simple for my brain. Basically, Japan gives up less when it makes cars than we do when we give up cars, because we can specialize in things we're better
doesn't really
at.
look like this
The
in real life.
opportunity cost is
Countries
lower.
produce more than just 2 goods, but we simplify the world in economics, and then we bring in the complexities later on. Anyway, in our situation, let's just say the United States can produce 10,000 planes or 30,000 toys, and China can produce 4,000 planes or 20,000
Okay, so you notice how the U.S. can make more than China, right? So we're better at producing stuff than China here.
toys. It's easy to organize this by drawing a grid with the countries on the left and the things they can produce on the top. Notice the United States can produce more of both planes and
Yes, more.
toys.
Both.
This is called having an absolute advantage. But this doesn't mean that the United States should produce both planes and toys. Both the United States and China should specialize in producing one and then trade with the other country. But how should they trade? That guy just walked right through here. Oh, that's funny. To determine what they should produce, we have to calculate something called per unit opportunity cost. Okay, we know the United States gives up 30 toys when they produce 10 planes, but how
You see that? So if they're making 30 toys, they give
many
up
toys
10
are given out when they
planes.
produce just 1 plane? That's the per unit opportunity cost. The number of units you'd lose divided by the number of units you gain. So for the United States, 1 plane costs 3 toys, and each 1 toy costs 1/3 of a plane. How many toys does China give up when they produce 1 plane? For China, 1 plane costs 5 toys. Now, how many planes do they give up when they produce 1 toy?
You see, they're literally just you see how they're just putting these over each other and reducing them?
The answer is 1/5 of a plane. So which country should specialize in producing planes? The one that gives up 3 toys for each plane, or the one that gives up 5 toys for each plane? Well, the US, because they have a lower opportunity cost, and therefore...
Okay. Does it make sense? The US has a lower opportunity cost because they're only giving up... When the US makes a plane, they're only giving up 3 toys, but when China makes a plane, they're giving up 5 toys.
comparative advantage. China has a comparative advantage in the production of toys. So if these 2 countries specialize in trade, they'll actually be better off than if they try to produce the products themselves. And that's the whole reason why we learned the concept of comparative advantage. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you. Autograph? Okay. Let's look at the concept of terms of trade. We know both countries can benefit from...
Okay, the terms of trade you don't really need to know, but it's just calculating exactly how much they should trade. So you can make more stuff if you specialize in one thing. Basically, yes. Both countries will be able to have more of what they want if they just specialize in one thing. I mean, like, you can do, like... Who's mentioning it? Sir, can't comment on the video. Sounds like 2x more than yours. Yeah, I speed the video up. Yes. Yeah, the video is meant to be faster. Like I intentionally speed it up. I almost never watch any video on 1x speed. I always watch it at least 1.25. You can go to my channel. Like I'm literally watching videos in 2x speed. The only time I slow it down is when Destiny talks. If Destiny talks fast. I mean the volume maybe. Oh, the video sound is like 2x yours. Okay. Thank you. I can fix that. It was kind of a loud video, but let me just decrease it. Okay, thanks for explaining. Yeah. Okay, is it better now if I go back to it?
Hey, Readin Econ.
Okay, now if I talk
with
over
the
it,
countries
can
on the
you hear
left
me better
and
when
the
I talk
things they
over
can
it?
produce on the
Or is it
top.
too quiet?
Notice the United States can produce more of both planes and toys. This is called having an absolute advantage. But this doesn't mean that the United States should produce both planes and toys. Both the United States and China should
that
specialize in
sounds
producing
better now.
one and then trade with the other country. But how should they trade?
You're the same volume, kinda? Hold on, I should be louder. I'm gonna decrease it a little bit more. Fuck, what you hear earlier. I already reacted to something, and now... I mean, I apply a compressor in
That guy
Adobe
just
Premiere
walked
Pro,
right
and it ends
through
up...
here. Oh, that's funny.
It ends up working out, but...
To determine what they should produce, we have to calculate something called per unit opportunity cost.
Per unit
we know the
opportunity
United
cost.
States gives up 30 toys when they produce 10 planes, but how many toys are...
Okay. Back to this. Maybe it's just video being... That video was kind of loud, but yeah. It's about wealth taxes. The wealth tax. This is unrealized gains. And we read this already. Okay, okay, so those two are wealth taxes. Those are just blog posts. What is this? Laffer curve for it. So this is wealth tax. Tax. So it's about corporate tax. Corporate tax. Is it about corporate tax? Corporate tax. That just shows that we're already a relatively progressive system. We read that. This is wealth tax. Did we already look at this? Yeah, this is okay. Corporate tax. Well, this is just broadly Social Democrat library. I think I've used this site before. World tax bad. Corporate tax bad. Go down bad. Fuck. Well, add this to the corporate tax thing then. This is just going to link to the social democracy in the 21st century, yeah. It's all about immigration stuff. I'm pretty sure I have this fact sheet before. Yeah, I've seen this before. Don't need anything from there yet. There's these things. There's about a wealth tax. These are all about wealth tax. Let's just put it down there. Really, this should go like here. Okay, fire. Okay, we'll read this and then we'll probably be done for the night. This is the last thing we have to read on realized taxes, so. This week, President Biden introduced a new tax proposal as part of the White House fiscal year 2023 budget to raise taxes on households with net worth over $100 million. The proposal would require wealthy households to remit taxes on unrealized capital gains from assets such as stocks, bonds, and privately held companies. Biden's proposal would take the tax code in the wrong direction by imposing a complicated tax on a narrowing segment of high-earning households in a way that's never been tried, adding new compliance and administrative challenges for already overburdened IRS, while weakening the U.S. economy or raising the tax burden and saving on saving and entrepreneurship. Unrealized gains taxes. Complicate things. For an already overburdened IRS. While disincentivizing saving and investment. What do they say? Saving and entrepreneurship. Under current law, households pay taxes on the appreciated value of assets when they are sold or realized. Gains on assets held for less than 1 year are subject to ordinary income taxes, while gains on assets held for longer than 1 year are subject to a top rate of 23.8%. Additionally, inherited assets receive a step-up tax basis, eliminating tax on capital gains. This is just the fucking inheritance loophole shit. Under the new proposal, households with net wealth over 100 million would be required to pay a minimum effective tax of 20% on an expanded measure of incomes that includes unrealized capital gains. Households would calculate their effective tax rate for the minimum tax, and if it fell below 20%, would owe additional taxes to bring their effective rate to 20%. In other words, households would owe taxes on capital gains each year, even if the underlying asset had not been sold, and amounts paid would be treated as prepayments of amounts paid would be treated as prepayments of future capital gains tax liability. For example, consider a household net worth 200 million, 500 million ordinary income, 10 million in accumulated unrealized capital gains from privately held company, and ordinary tax liability 1.8 million in 2023. When including the unrealized capital gains as income, the household effective tax rate is 12%, below the 20% proposed 20% minimum. To increase the effective tax rate to 20%, the household must remit an additional 1.2 million in tax, 3 million in taxes paid, 15 million income. 3 million in taxes paid with 15 million income inclusive of unrealized gains. The 1.2 million could be paid in equal instances over 9 years for capital gains moving forward. Tax owed could be paid over 5 years and would be credited against future capital gains liability on the asset when it's sold. An example of the proposed minimum capital gains tax. This just breaks it down. When the household eventually sells the company, it will square up its taxes by using a prepaid taxes to offset capital gains liability. For example, if the household sold a private company in 2024 and owed 2 million capital gains taxes, it would reduce its liability by its 1.2 million prepayment in the year prior and only owe an additional 800,000. If an asset declined in value and a household had unrealized capital loss, it would receive reduced the household's tax liability. This is just this is what you have to do. Yeah, an unrealized loss would first reduce remaining payments of tax owed on previous unrealized gains being paid over 5 years before being refunded to cash. Overall, the proposal moves in opposite direction sound tax policy because it would be administrative costly, reducing U.S. savings, and its revenues potentially uncertain. Okay, so okay. Break down how complex it is. There's so many badges now, yeah. Here's an example. If I copy this, does it copy the tape? Fire. Okay. We can probably, okay, consider a household with net worth 200 million. Capital gains moving forward tax could be owed paid over 5 years, and it would be credited against future capital gains as sold. When a household eventually sells the company, okay, fuck, I can't need all this. Can I vote the table? I can. Okay. Right, the stream deck isn't fucking working right now. can't. I can click it, but nothing happens. I don't know why. Alright, if I need the table... Oh, fuck you. I can look at it. I have it linked, so like... Change the definition of taxable income to include unrealized capital gains presents significant administrative challenges, including how to value non-tradable assets and how to treat illiquid taxpayers who have paper gains but lack cash in hand to meet the minimum tax bill. Does Fred 1 work? No, not anything that requires my stream deck. Hold on, I can probably fix it real quick. Better refund my channel points. Give me Fred 2. Hold on, just give it a second. There you go. Hold on, that's perfect. Oh fuck, I can't stop it. I can't stop. Fuck, it's broken. There we go, okay. Fred 2. There you go, buddy. Thanks, Dad. Including unrealized gains and taxable income. Resist the administrative challenges, particularly with... I prefer Fred 1. Oh fuck, where's Fred 1? Fred 1. Frederick, he's coming, he's coming. How to value non-tradable assets and how to treat illiquid taxpayers who may have paper gains. Fuck. That is so cool. Non-tradable assets and how to treat taxpayers who had unrealized gains but lack the cash on hand to pay the tax. The proposal attempts to meet such challenges with a separate formulaic rule to value non-tight tradable assets, payment periods of 9 to 5 years, an entirely separate tax regime with a deferral charge instead of payments for illiquid taxpayers. All options, however, introduce complexities, opportunities for tax planning, and the potential of disputes with the IRS. In other words, economically wasteful activities. Those households are good at avoiding tax hits. It's basically a college of industry planning a hit. Or just find a way to tax avoidance. Finance proposal to meet these challenges include a separate formulaic to value non-tradable assets Payment periods. And an entirely separate tax regime for deferral charge instead of payments for illiquid taxpayers. A long-term prepaid expense that is carried on an asset till the balance sheet is used or consumed. Additionally, taxes levied on assets and net debts, meaning it could encourage additional borrowing to avoid a tax unless mitigation rules added. What, 24-hour? Okay. All these introduce administrative complexity. Like, I don't want my opening statement to be too long, but I could make. I think maybe I could address more stuff if I made like a 10-minute opening statement. But I don't want it to be that long. It's gonna be so impossibly boring, dude. Just know what, dude. Bimmy is not gonna. This mini Destiny. If you call me noob, you could span. True, dude. It's not even like. Destiny's fallen off hard. I used to quite like him. Who are you debating? Just some people. Just some like Twitch politics people. What are you reading this stuff for? A debate. And for knowledge, but. Dude, also. Why are you guys calling me a mini Destiny when I'm. Does Destiny read tax policy shit? No, just a general listener, mate. I don't even like. Are you ever planning editing or getting an editor? I feel like 30 to 1 hour content is it has best retention. If I had the money to get an editor, I'd definitely do it. I don't like that I edit all my own stuff, but the problem is it just costs too much, and like I'm pretty sure like SoundSoul has an editor, right? So this is like I don't mean to be rude to SoundSoul's editor, but like let's just compare one of his videos to my videos, just for like the only thing you really edit, or you just do the chapters and the intro. SoundSoul, hey, forgot about that guy. Like no offense to SoundSoul's editor, okay.
This is what Donald Trump posted in 2022. Quote verbatim: "A massive fraud of this type in magnet."
Like this intro is pretty simplistic.
He was a moron, according to tech.
I think my intros are a lot better. Hold on, what's an intro that goes super hard? No, I don't know an intro that goes really hard. I don't know, maybe this one? What Panda here is citing is basically the Austrian business cycle, which says that if the Fed is in charge of setting rates, at some point it will set rates below. It's literally copy Destiny's intro? Yes, because Destiny's intro is better than like anybody's. Like every no offense, most other people's intros are just worse. Like they're just like simplistic. Like there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I saw you posted a comment with me one time and it was like, holy shit, I never knew how annoying I sounded. I think it sounded good. I think it sounded fine, but maybe I just don't remember. Maybe you were really bad. Maybe everyone thinks that behind your back. But like I don't know. Because it is mini Destiny. Yeah, I like quick hooky intro. Yeah, like I mean, like there's nothing like wrong with the intro necessarily. I'm just saying like I'm saying like I would need an editor to do intros that are also just copies of Destiny's intros. And it doesn't seem like any of the other people's editors are doing it. It just, I just wanted to, if I had the money, I'd absolutely do it. But it just costs way too much. Who are you debating on what topics? I'm debating just some Twitch politics people. I don't know if you guys know who PPG is. You're on YouTube, so I don't kind of assume it. But PPG and Casey Lee IRL, as well as maybe Maida. Maida doesn't stream, but he's in the Twitch politics sphere. Maybe Maida, but I have to hash out a prompt for Maida because his positions are more nuanced than Casey and Boomy's. Plus, I just want to know this stuff because, like, I have opinions on this, but I haven't like read it. Is about this. Keep grinding, keep seeking truth, and you'll certainly be able to afford an editor one day. Maybe, dude. Maybe. But yeah, I mean, I would love to get an editor. You know what I need to do? I need to make a better outro too that actually tells people to subscribe and stuff. Listen, I'm not that far away, guys. I'm like 1,700 out of 3,000 to get monetized on YouTube of watch hours. I just need more YouTube viewers to come in, like you guys. Like, oh, my lovely YouTube viewers, give me watch time right now. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and the thumbnails too. Like Soundsoul, for example, his thumbnails are just like AI generated. My thumbnails, I'm not gonna pretend like my thumbnails take a ton of effort. My thumbnails take 5 minutes to make, okay? But they're at least like Little Bro thinks people are watching his YouTube channel. Yeah, unfortunately, but listen, when I react to Destiny, I get views. That's like all my most popular videos. What are we discussing today? Well, welcome to the stream, Steed FPS. But right now we got. I was talking about taxes, but I got sidetracked by just discussing my YouTube channel. I've noticed watch hours are done. Will subscriptions become available on YouTube? Yeah, you'll be able to become. Well, YouTube calls them members, right? You'll be able to become a member, and you'll be able to super chat, and I'll be able to get ad revenue. Yeah. Okay. Introduce administrative complexity, which will result in a cat and mouse game. The IRS, private tax lawyers, whose time could be spent in more productive sectors. Or, hold on. Really, if I'm taking notes, I shouldn't add too much of my own stuff. Save this for the opening statement. It's already in the opening statement. Opportunities for tax planning. Oh, good. I'll probably come remember when that's all good. Well, thank you, Kinley. I appreciate it. I appreciate the future offer. And for disputes for the IRS, with the IRS. All of which are economically costly. Dude, I've given you 2 subs and question how you want me to give you even more money? I didn't say. I was talking to Kinley. I said I appreciate the future offer to Kinley. I didn't say you Hollow Husk are under no obligation to give any more money than you have. You weren't really obligated to do that in the first place. It's just that helps a lot. I'm just saying. I was just talking to Kinley. I appreciated Kinley's offer. Okay. Chill out. Everyone's chill here. Everyone's chill. Okay. I like that you guys are watching it all. Okay. I'm making drama. Additionally, taxes levied on net debts, meaning it could encourage additional borrowing to avoid the tax. I don't quite understand this. Make this make sense to me. This means the tax would be calculated on a total value of individual assets minus their debts. Principal tax bonus, because the tax is based on net assets, so it's concerned that could increase wealthy individuals to take on more debt to reduce their tax. Okay. So that's an interesting argument because people often bring up like the billionaire borrowing thing because they're not taxed on borrowing, right? Which is a problem. This is a problem that billionaires can take out loans with their like stocks as collateral and they don't pay taxes on any of that. What are you doing? I'm confused. What are you doing? Or what are we doing? Are you going through the Twitch terms of agreement? TOS research stream. I'm just looking up. I'm just going through tax stuff right now. Tax research. Anyway. This is a good point because you can bring that up in response. Well, if you do this type of tax, you're actually going to increase the incentive to borrow. Taxes levied on net assets, which increases the incentive to borrow to reduce your tax base. The proposal would increase the tax burden on U.S. savers, placing foreign savers at a relative advantage as they would not face the minimum tax. Tax would place foreign savers at a relative advantage. Raising taxes on domestic savers reduces the amount of domestic savings, which means foreign savers could finance a greater share of investment opportunities in the U.S. over the long run, and will lead to a reduction in American income as investment flows to foreign savers instead of American savers. Meaning more investment will come from foreigners. Fuck, I kind of want to add this to the opening statement as well. Causing a reduction in American income, as investment returns flow to foreign investors. Let's see where I can fit that in. I should put, I'm laying out things that disincentivize saving here and explaining how that makes long-run growth suffer. Okay. Next, we'll also place foreign savers at a relative advantage, meaning more investment will come from foreigners, causing a reduction in American income as investment returns flow to foreign investors. Would also manifest in a shifted balance of trade, increasing the trade deficit, all else held equal. Would increase the trade deficit. I don't care about the deficit. The trade deficit. I care about the government deficit a little bit. Gonna be buying a lot of puts in the market tomorrow. Why? I'm not a very big finance bro, so like I don't follow that stuff too closely. I don't know. Have stocks recovered at all from the downturn? One stock market rotation and then another. Not from what I saw. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. If I just look at the S&P 500. 5 days. It's at 5,000. Yeah. It looks like it's trending upward a little bit, but I guess not over today. At a peak July 16th, and then for quite a bit. Downturn could be precursor to a global recession. A lot of big names are selling off significant shares. Uh-oh, that's not good. Hopefully, we'll get a rate cut soon, and hopefully that'll increase investor confidence. Higher price of tax and capital gains could also discourage angel investing, entrepreneurship, and risk taking because the higher the capital gains rate, the greater the tax disadvantage for pursuing risky investment. What's your channel about? Mostly political stuff. High effective tax rate would discourage investment in particular, or discourage angel investing, entrepreneurship, and risk taking. What is the link for this? How wealth fuels growth. How old are you? I'm 18. Because a higher capital gains tax rate, great. Yeah. Great disadvantage pursuing risky investment. That comes a barrier of structure. I don't even need it. I'm aware. Taxes disincentivize investment. Yes, you're taxing investment. You're going to disincentivize investment. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shifting from tax gains when they are realized towards and toward the risky regime Biden outlines in the opposite direction of international norms. In fact, most countries in the Organization for Economic Development, this is just the OECD, developed countries for the most part, tax capital gains when they are realized at lower rates in the U.S. and tax capital income at overall lower tax rates. Tax raise was in the opposite direction. Most other. I thought this channel was about weed and video games. Yeah. I mean, we play video games sometimes. There is a non-fun gaming channel, okay? I don't use it often. I thought I was gonna, for a little bit, stream gaming on a different channel, but I just stream on the same channel. But there is a non-fun gaming channel with one video on it. Roy Fortnite Cooper. It's just that. Alright, my Roy. Back when I thought Roy Cooper could have been VP. Before you withdrew.
Right now.
Who is DDoSing me, bro? God, it's so stuttery, dude.
Guys, I can't hear Hope. He's telling me
what political
important
topic are you
stuff.
covering right now? Taxes. Whether wealth taxes and corporate taxes and various other, I would say, like, progressive, not in the sense of just they're taxed at marginal progressive rates, but progressive in the sense that, like, super progressive people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are pushing for them. Whether those types of progressive taxes are good, basically. I like taxes. Taxes are yummy. Yeah. Most OECD. Which taxed realized gains. And at lower rates in the US. And capital income overall is taxed at lower tax rates. Another challenge is the minimum tax would likely not be a stable source of revenue. Much of the estimated $361 billion revenue it would raise in the first decade was from taxing previously accumulated capital gains, which would be payable over 9 years. Once the taxes and past accumulations are paid, the permanent increase in revenue going forward would be smaller. It also introduces instability. Estimated revenue of $361 billion. Is from taxing previously existing or previously built up capital gains that are paid over 9 years. Tax revenue moving forward would decrease. I put this down there already. Yeah. Right. This is what that is. That's... If you seized all wealth, you couldn't fund U.S. government for a year. $550 billion is worth $2.5 trillion. If it comes to get 100% of wealth, we raise enough to fund the government for less than 8 months. Mostly true. Is it true that if you buried a loved one in the landless yard, you don't have to pay property taxes at a burial ground? I have no clue. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I don't think you're allowed to just bury them in your yard. I think you probably have to have some permit to be a burial site. I would imagine. I would imagine that they don't want people just burying people in their backyards. I would guess, but I mean, maybe. You can make your house a church. Churches don't pay taxes. I don't think they pay property taxes. I'm pretty sure they don't, because they don't pay taxes. Do churches pay property taxes? Property tax exemption include not-profit organizations for religious, scientific, charitable. Okay. This is North Carolina, so it could be different. Could be different in other places, but base religious exemption to taxes. True. I mean, I don't really care that much whether they're taxed or not. Once tax paid and past accumulation, okay, it also introduces instability. Most of the revenue generation would depend on how taxpayers' assets perform on paper. This, I mean, could apply to regular capital gains too, but tax would also introduce instability in revenue. Since the revenue generation in a year would depend on how taxpayers' assets perform on paper. The minimum tax proposal will be a highly complicated new tax regime that would create difficulty for already overwhelmed IRS servicing completely, and complexity for taxpayers without serving as a stable source of permanent funding. The administrative and economic costs would certainly not be worth it. Lawmakers have much better options to progressive consumption taxes to raise revenue from top earners. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna just add this as a quote here, and then I might work it into the opening statement. All right. That's unrealized gains done for now, although there might be more stuff that comes up later. Okay. Unrealized gains, and then second, I have wealth taxes, so we'll add wealth taxes. And then I'll set these up so I can go right to reading them tomorrow. This is not like specifically wealth taxes, I guess. This is really everything. All types of complex tax codes, which like one of my main points against all these taxes is that they introduce a lot of unneeded complexity to the tax code. Okay, so that's all the wealth tax things. I'll just put this in here, really. Arling 2, corporate tax. Red. Alright, I imagine we'll find more stuff to read as well, because all these are going to have hyperlinks and sources in them. Some of which might be good. Forgot I can just drag them up there. It gotta be still up, right? I don't really need a web archive version of it. All right. And we'll add a alternative section as well. And there's like destination-based cash flow stuff that I can add to as well. I already have notes in tax policy that I can add to it as well. All right. Okay. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow. Arcade Junior admits dumping bear carcasses in the York Central. Alright, tomorrow I'll stream again. More reading shit. One debate is on Thursday. Probably another debate before that. I need Casey to DM me, but she's not done. And I need Maida to DM me again to set up a full prompt. Thank you everyone for watching. I like streaming. I love that you guys enjoy watching me stream. I love that you guys are here. Who can I raid with my 2 viewers? I think it's just you, Hollow Husk. And okay's there. No, wait. I'll put panel to end a stream. Oh, everyone. No one's in the boss's server because everyone's in neutral waters. Good night, Kinley. Karos I could raid. PPG I could raid. Lanius I could raid. Turbo. Okay, I'll probably just do. I'll do PPG, I guess. Or no. I'll do Karos. No. I'll do it. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah. Love you guys. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Not fun out.